Hello everyone, Terry here. Now, this is going to come as a bit of a shock to you and to some of you, or most of you I imagine, a disappointment, especially me. But with one day to go, I've cancelled the Kickstarter. I know a lot of you are thinking, firstly, why? Secondly, why so close to the end? Simply because a lot has gone on behind the scenes, and even if the Kickstarter had reached its goal, once you take out the fees and everything else, I don't believe we'd be able to deliver what we promised. There's nothing worse than feeling that I've ripped someone off. Now, in the past, I've been accused of this many times, and I'm not that guy, right? Those of you who know me a little bit more, or know me online a bit longer than most, and people who know me in real life, know I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not a con man, I'm not a rip-off artist. So when someone accuses me of that, it's very hurtful. But this is why I'm being blatantly honest with myself and with you guys and my cast and crew, many of which are going to be disappointed with this revelation. I'm not sure I can deliver the kind of film that I want to do on the money we get from Kickstarter and our savings. A lot of our savings have gone already, and the costs to make this film, the costs of venue hire, cast, crew, some money for the actors, some traveling expenses for the actors, catering, everything else. Even if I try and cut corners and strip things out, I think the film is going to be very poor as a result. And I don't want to do that. So I've gone and had over a week or so of many conversations with trusted friends, asking for advice. Some people advise me to do what I've just done. Some people advise me not to do it. But ultimately, it comes down to me. It is my project. It is my reputation on the line. And it is my happiness and satisfaction with how things are going. And ultimately, I don't want to take anyone's money off them if the proceeds or the rewards you get for this film are going to be terrible and awful. I don't want to do that. So I've decided Bloody Students as a feature film project is gone. It's not disappeared 100%. It's more kind of archived and on the shelf. Maybe one day I'll be in a financial position where I won't need to do a Kickstarter and I can revisit it or rejig it, rewrite it, scale it down, do whatever, do something else with it. But right now, even if we got the £5,000, we wouldn't get the £5,000. You know this. Kickstarter would take £500 as their fee, plus some admin fees, plus we'd have to spend quite a bit of money on rewards and postage and all this kind of stuff. Nothing's guaranteed, and I don't think it would be enough to do a decent job. I don't want to cobble together something rushed and amateurish, or more amateurish, shall I say. I want to do the very best I think I can do, and I don't think we're able to do it. So all that's left for me is to apologize, firstly, to my crew who have helped out on the shoots, the cast members, a couple of which have really worked hard to try and make this Kickstarter a success. And I don't want you to feel that your work's gone to nothing and it's gone unappreciated. We will hopefully work on something very soon together, probably something smaller. And I'd like to apologize to the backers for throwing the pledges in as much as you have been. It shows that you've got a lot of faith and belief in me, and I thank you so much for that. It just goes to show that there are some people out there who support me in whatever I do, and that's really gets me, because at the end of the day, filmmaking, as everyone knows, is a team thing. If the film had been a huge success, I would be thanking everyone and saying filmmaking is a team thing, so the team should share in the success. Couldn't have done it without you, etc. But this project has not had a great deal of support from everyone. Let me restate that again. I'm not blaming anyone who hasn't worked as hard to promote the Kickstarter or the film. I'm not blaming them. I'm not passing the blame. It's my decision to stop the Kickstarter. It's my decision to shelve this movie for the foreseeable future. Because you have to remember, I've been invested in this film for over 2 years now. And I don't want it to get to another situation like Offworld, where it was 7 years of eking it out and begging for favors and everything else. I wanted to do it properly, and it's become apparent that I can't do it properly, and we don't have the money or the support to do it properly. That doesn't mean Bloody Students is completely disappearing. I've been talking to my publishers about a possible novelization. There's talk about other ideas of telling the story or telling parts of the story in other ways, maybe short films, maybe audio, whatever. That's all to be decided. But right now, the most important thing is I don't want to take anyone's money off them. The Kickstarter was due to end on Wednesday morning, and I was growing more and more apprehensive and worried about that Kickstarter actually hitting the £5,000, because that would mean I'd have to deliver on my promises, and I don't think I can do that. I don't think, with all the goodwill in the world, you know, the supportive cast members, the crew, and everything we've done so far, and the people who have, you know, helped me with venues and all these other things, I honestly don't think we've got enough in all those areas to actually make a good film. And yes, it's disappointing, but I've been thinking about it. It's not as disappointing as delivering a half-baked, half-finished film that takes 5-6 years to do, and I'm not happy with it. And this film should have been quicker, better, more smoothly organized, better funded and all that. And funding is one of the most important things in a film, and we just don't have it. We don't have the manpower, we don't have the support, you know, in terms of bums on seats. And we do have, I say, at least 52 of the backers willing the film on and supporting it. But again, your generosity as backers is wonderful, it's brilliant. But I've got to be honest with myself and honest with you guys that I'm not going to take your money off you. I'm not going to try and gather whatever Kickstarter payout at the end of the campaign and say, well, let's see what we can do and deliver something awful. You don't deserve that, and I don't deserve that. And you don't want that, and I don't want that. So that's how it goes. For now, Bloody Students is on the shelf. It's cancelled in terms of ideas that I may revisit. It doesn't fill me with any joy or relief to do that, but I'd rather go forward knowing that I've done what I think is the right thing rather than doing the wrong thing. I did forget to say that I wanted to say my apologies and thanks to our guest stars. We filmed Nicola Cunningham. The first bit of footage for this film was shot last year in the summer. Nicola Cunningham, who now lives in Canada. She was obviously Mary in Shaun of the Dead. She was wonderful to work with, really helpful, really kind, giving up her time to shoot her little cameos. And Paul Putner, who came down, he took a chance on this film when very few named actors would, and he came down, did a great thing. We had a nice time. We walked around, we had a pint, we had a couple of pints, we had cups of tea, and we had a good time shooting. So thank you to you guys. Thank you to everyone else who wanted to be involved and was planning to be involved, like some of the actors and some of the other crew members and makeup people and all this kind of things, and the guys playing the mummies, etc. I do value your contributions and your intentions, but unfortunately we didn't have the support. We didn't have the money. I think in the back of my mind I was hoping that the Kickstarter would fly past the target audience, the target goal, and we'd get something like 10,000 on top of the current savings and stuff. But I wasn't, I think that would be a little bit too ambitious or whatever. So yeah, here we are. this is me being as honest as I possibly can. It doesn't make me feel comfortable or happy to have to do all this and say this. But what do you want from me? Do you want honesty or do you want lies? It's never good when things end. It's never good when things end prematurely and unfinished. But like Clint Eastwood used to say, a man's got to know his limitations. And if you are aware of what you can and can't do, isn't it better to make decisions based on that rather than just hoping for the best? I know a lot of films go through hardship. A lot of films, well, the one I always keep talking about is Jaws. Everything was against it, yet it still got made, became a fabulous film. I don't think that would have happened with this film. It may happen in the future. But I would rather take a look at it in the future if I'm in the position, I've got more people, more support, more producers, more money, everything else to do it properly. My whole intention for Bloody Students was to do it properly. And we're not going to be able to do it properly. So that's it. I could keep repeating myself, but I'm not going to. I have informed the backers by an update, and I'll be putting posts out on social media explaining all this. And I'll be linking to this video to stop myself having to repeat the same answers to the same people. Obviously, I'm open to questions. I'm open to explain anything that doesn't seem, clear. And I know everyone will have advice for me. Why didn't you do this? Why did you do that? Why didn't you do this, for example, or shoot this, or rewrite stuff and do that? I've thought of a lot of possibilities, and I'm doing what I feel the most practical, honest, and sensible thing is to do. And that's right now to cancel the Kickstarter, make sure no one's had money taken from them, and have a good think about how we can proceed with this film in either different forms, shorter forms, whatever. My actors, my two actresses, my main two actresses, Angharad and Hannah, have all my biggest respect and support in whatever they do in the future. I know Angharad's booked a movie and Hannah's currently touring with her many projects, and I'll be there to support them as much as I possibly can. Some of the cast we didn't get round to shooting with, our lead actor and some of the other guys. I'm sorry we didn't get round to filming stuff with you, and I'm sorry if you feel I may have wasted your time over the last year and going through the audition process, etc. But that's unfortunately how it goes. Anyway, all I can say is I'm sorry, and I hope there's no hard feelings, but I understand there will be disappointment, and some people will say I've done the wrong thing, but it is what it is. I've done what I think is the honest thing, and that's the most important thing, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, that's it from me. If you want to ask me a question, feel free, and if you don't want to ask me publicly, ask me in my DMs or whatever, and I will sort it out then. Cheers.